You are loved. You are already enough. Your life matters. These are the words that I wish I would have reminded myself of when I was in the depths of my depression. When I was 10 years old, I had an amazing childhood. I was a pretty good student, played sports, had friends, a loving family, and I'd always wear my Nike Air Jordans, a backwards baseball cap, and a polo shirt. I thought I was pretty fly for a white guy. My dad and mom were both attorneys, and they did well for themselves. My dad had his own private airplane, and we'd take family vacations every couple months. It was awesome. Have you ever made a decision that changed your life forever? After a ski trip in Taos, New Mexico, we boarded my dad's plane to fly back home to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was raining and snowing. My mom wasn't sure we should fly because of the weather conditions. And my dad responded, "The kids have school tomorrow and we've got work." And the pilot assured us that everything would be okay. The plane took off, and everything seemed fine until we got up to about 7,000 feet. And then everything went black. The next time I saw light was a month later. I found myself in a hospital bed after waking from a coma. I couldn't talk, could hardly move, and had tubes all over my body. I saw my dad and my sister with crutches. I was afraid to ask why my mom wasn't there. When I could finally speak a few words, I asked what happened. And I was told that we were in a plane crash and that my mom didn't make it. From this point forward, my life became this dance with depression, and my mind would sway into the past and then out to the present and back to the past. I was stuck. You may have not been in a plane crash, or at least I hope you haven't, but everybody has something that can lead to depression. Maybe you've been abused or bullied, or maybe a loved one passed away. It's totally normal to feel sad after these things happen, but there's a difference between sadness and depression. For those of you that haven't felt depressed, the best way I can describe what it feels like is to imagine a dark cloud hovering over your head that you just can't get away from. Imagine feeling trapped to the point where you feel trapped inside your body, paralyzed and stuck. Like you aren't motivated to do anything. Throughout your lifetime, depression might stop in for a visit. Sometimes it'll hang around for a few weeks, and other times it'll settle in for a few months or longer. The truth is that 1 out of every 15 people in the US suffer from depression, and 40% of those people don't seek help. The saddest part is that depression is the leading cause of suicide. Approximately 123 people in the US die each day by suicide. And for every suicide, there are 25 unsuccessful attempts. And each year, the numbers keep going up. The problem is that many of us don't want to ask for help. We don't want to be seen as weak or not good enough to figure it out on our own. We don't want to bother other people with our problems. We're not willing to be vulnerable and share what's really going on inside our minds. There's such a negative stigma to people suffering from depression, and that needs to end. It is okay to be depressed, and it is okay to ask for help, but suicide is not okay. As a person who has spent many years dancing with depression, it is my life's mission to inspire you and bring you hope so that you can look at your life through a whole new lens. We are all human beings, and the truth is that we all feel sad at times. You may not feel loved, or you may not feel important, or you may not feel like your life has a purpose, but it does. Every single person on this earth is here for a reason. Don't give up on life. When your time comes, death will swoop you up. No shortcuts. You may think that the world will be a better place if you're not around anymore, But that is not the truth. People love you. Strangers love you. Friends love you. Family loves you. People that you haven't even met yet love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Just know that people are here for you. Share how you're truly feeling with someone who will listen. I know it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But if you bottle your feelings up inside, you'll feel alone. Just say, I can't do this on my own. I need help. Can you help me? And it's totally okay to get medical or professional help. If you feel like you have no one in your life who will listen, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. When I was a teenager, I had major acne and walked with a limp because I had back problems from the plane crash. Consequently, I got bullied. Now, I don't know about you, but as a teen, my negative thoughts would beat me up inside. You're not good enough. No one loves you. There's no point in living. I was afraid to be vulnerable and ask for help. My thoughts of suicide had become a regular thing. What does a guy who doesn't want to be depressed do? One day, my grandma put a book on my desk and said, I think you might like this book. I picked it up and read the cover. 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. Thanks, Grandma. Then Grandma shut the door. I thought to myself, great. Now Grandma thinks I'm not highly effective. I opened the book and started reading. There was a lot of good information, but one thing really stood out. And it's that your life doesn't just happen. The choices are yours. You choose happiness. You choose sadness. You choose courage. You choose fear. I had a perspective shift. What if I chose to be proactive and stop letting my circumstances control me? What does a guy who doesn't want to be depressed do? He learns how to meet women with his dad. We were both single and had no clue how to attract women. So I searched online and some books came up titled The Game by Neil Strauss and Mystery Method by Mystery. My dad and I would spend hours reading these books and having conversations about them. This was one of the best memories I had with my dad. And of course, we took what we learned from the books and began to start conversations with women in coffee shops, in bars, on the streets, in the mall, riding the bus, everywhere. We were each other's wingman. I realized that getting out and talking to people helped me to feel happy. We had a ton of laughs, awkward moments, and met some incredible people by facing our fears of rejection. Through this, I learned that the purpose of life is to connect with others. Even just saying, hi, how's it going, opens the door to a life-changing conversation. If you're alone and not sharing your story or sharing your life, then do so. People are waiting for you to speak. Shortly after this, my dad passed away. He hadn't learned to dance with his depression like I did. He suppressed his feelings and numbed his pain with opioids. My dad's death was hard on me, but I remember one thing that he told me. He told me about the law of attraction. He said, what you focus on grows. So every day, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I am loved. I am already enough. My life matters. Say this so much that you believe it and that it becomes part of your internal dialogue. One last thing I want to share with you that helped me dance with my depression is to express gratitude every day. Many studies have shown that expressing gratitude helps to alleviate depression. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful for the time I got to spend with my dad. I am grateful for you listening to me. Life is like a roller coaster. You'll have ups and downs. But just know that people are here for you. If you begin to feel depression creeping in, ask for help. I know it's not easy, but just ask for help. Connect with other people. Talk about it. People want to help. In fact, people were placed in your life at every exact moment for a reason. And always remember this: you are loved. Your life matters. You are already enough. Thank you.